All right, everybody, let's go ahead and get started. I don't want to take up too much more of your Monday morning. I'm going to go through this information as thorough, efficient, and quickly as possible. So let's go ahead and get started. So today we're going to talk about how to build a relationship with your customers and increase your revenue. And I'm going to specifically break down a method that I created based on what I do on a daily basis. So before we get started, let me introduce myself, right? So I'm Cierra Seay from Detroit, Michigan. I'm a mother. I have two sons. I'm a writer by nature. I've been writing for I got certified as an email marketing strategist and consultant by HubSpot, as well as digital marketer. I'm also a certified copywriter, and I'm a copywriting coach. In 2018, I started my agency, Dropout Media, after working at FCA or Chrysler, whatever you want to call it these days, for 5 years. So what do I do and who do I work with? I work with coaches, I work with consultants, influencers. I like to say people who are in the business of transforming lives. So there's, small business owners, but the work that you do has to really be impactful for me to want to like get involved with you or your project. So some of the people that I work with, you may know, such as Dr. Eric Thomas, aka E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher. We have Mr. David Shans, who's an entrepreneur coach. He was working at Cheesecake Factory, quit his job and started this huge t-shirt brand in Atlanta. A digital media company called Beast Mode Digital. They're actually doing the videography and a lot of the digital media work you guys see for E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher. And who I consider to be one of the absolute, if not the best digital marketer around right now, Mr. Marquand Russell. So before we start, a few quick things. I need you guys to have an open mind. I need you guys to understand that what I'm teaching is what I use with my clients. Like, this is not theory. I'm not, pulling stuff from a book or from, some webinar that I saw. Like, this is what I do on a daily basis for the people who hire me to do it. And lastly, take screenshots, share on social if you find something that's very engaging or that you think that'll help you. And you can tag and connect with me on Instagram at Cierra Seay. I don't like to say follow because I believe everybody is a leader at their own right. So I like to say connect with me on social media. Don't follow me, just connect with me. So here's the agenda. What my goal is to help you understand the value and importance of email marketing using a method that I created called the Attract, Engage, and Leverage. So I'm going to teach you how to attract the right people with an engaging lead magnet. I'm going to teach you how to keep your list engaged with the 3 must-have email campaigns, and these are not negotiable, like they're must-have. I'm going to teach you how to leverage and monetize your list, and then time permitting, we're going to do some Q&A. So let's start with the why, like why email marketing. A lot of people, every single day I get DMs, I get emails like, you sure this still work? Like, is it worth doing? I'm going to give you some statistics that's going to show you why email marketing is still worth having as a part of your overall marketing strategy for your brand, your business, your company, whatever you want to call it. And I want to also let you know this, you can't be serious about increasing your revenue if you're not using email marketing. And this is why. Email marketing removes the middleman. We've experienced times where like Instagram or Facebook will legit go down. We don't know why it went down. We don't know why it's coming up. Could you imagine getting ready to launch a huge campaign and a big part of your strategy is ads, or a big part of your strategy is going live or creating content for these platforms, and it just goes down? Facebook and Instagram are cool. They're great. Don't get me wrong. I make a lot of money on both, but they're technically a middleman. Email marketing gives you ownership. When people getting ads approved, or, making sure that your live won't, go on, what's the word? Won't pause, things like that. The third thing is that the ROI for email marketing. So for every $40, for every dollar you spend, the ROI is $40, like instantly. It takes some time, but that's what the numbers are saying. And the last reason for email marketing is that it's very easy to measure. There are literally only three things you're looking at when you're measuring email marketing. You're looking at the open rate, you're looking at the click-through rate, and you're looking at the amount of people that you have subscribed to your list. So here are some more like key statistics. So in 2020, this is one of my like favorite marketing companies to study when it comes to numbers and different types of forms of marketing. And this is from a study from earlier this year. I think it was January. So here are the key email marketing priorities in 2020 for companies. As you can see, 59% of companies are using email marketing to increase their sales revenue. 59%. Like, that's a lot. You have 49% who are using it to increase their leads, 36% talking about conversion rates, but that key statistic, 59%. That's a huge like chunk of your, how you plan on getting your sales. Here's another statistic: marketing and messaging channels driving sales. So this is the percentage of United States consumers who have used one of these particular channels to purchase. 73% of people have purchased from email. You got 31 from paid ads, which is, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, 29% from organic social posts, 26% from a banner ad, 22% from text messaging. And this chart was reported in April of 2020. So before 4 months, the first 4 months of the year, you had 73% of people purchasing directly from email. I can't wait to see the next report, because now we're post-COVID, where we're in COVID, where people couldn't go outside. So the number is probably much higher now. But these are a couple of key reasons why you should be using email marketing. Here's another stat for you. So the importance of transactional emails. So you have 65% of companies that say the engagement within their emails is very important. So a transactional email is any email you send that, says it can confirm a purchase. It could be just to nurture or build a relationship. Either of those things. 65.7% say engagement is very, very important with their transactional emails. And I see some comments, but I don't want to stop because we started late, so I'll get to them later, unless it's a technical problem. Grant, can you see that? Or are we good? I'm assuming we good. Okay, so the first thing you have to do to really leverage, monetize, and increase your revenue with email marketing is attract. Keyword attract, not buy, not find, attract. You want to attract people who raise their hand to accept what you have. You give them value, they give you their information. One thing I want to make clear right now, and I said it at the kind of in the middle of this presentation again, but do not buy lists. You do not want to do that. And I'm going to explain to you why, but I just want to put that out there right now. Do not buy lists. So how do you attract the right people? You have to be as clear as possible on who you want to attract for your product, your service, your business, your brand. Like, create that individual. And this is, I don't want to lean too much into copywriting, but you have to be clear on who you're trying to attract. I told you guys at the beginning that I work with coaches, consultants, and influencers. So everything that I do is geared towards them. That's who I want to attract. You have to understand the problems that they have. You really do, because when you're creating a lead magnet, that lead magnet, although it's free, it should still help them solve a problem, or it should at least help them understand that you can help them solve their problem. And once again, we don't want to ever buy lists. We don't want to ever do that. A lot of people ask me, well, why, if it's, quote unquote, an industry list, why can't I buy it? The thing is this, them people don't know you from Adam. And it's going to take a very long time for you to actually try to convert them. I get emails from lists that I've never signed up on, and the first thing I do is unsubscribe, even if it's something that I might be remotely interested in. Right now, in the digital marketing era, in the digital marketing world, a lot of things are relationship based. Like, consumers are more sophisticated than they've ever been. They have more choices than they've ever had. and they're normally making buying decisions with companies or brands or people that they feel like they have some type of relationship with, whether that's through content, whether that's through attending events like these. They're not just randomly buying things that jump into their inbox that they didn't sign up for. So you don't ever want to buy a list, like ever. Don't ever buy a list. So how do you create an attractive lead magnet? I'm sure there are a lot of people on here from in different industries who do different things. These are some of the most attractive lead magnets that I've recently seen are working well. Yes, you can do an ebook. Yes, you can do a checklist. But in order to truly maximize it and give people an extreme amount of value that will then help them understand that you can help them, these are the things I suggest. You can do a quiz that can help someone understand their needs. Most recently, I helped a real estate investor create a real estate investing quiz where people answer questions, and based on their answers, the quiz kicked out what type of investing they should do, whether they should buy and hold, whether they should flip, whether they should wholesale, etc., based on the answers to those questions. You can do free webinars. That's a great lead magnet because you're giving them value, you're giving them information, you're showing your expertise. They're able to then tell if they will, think they want to work with you or buy whatever you have to offer. You can do free masterclasses as well as free to low cost workshops. Those are the most attractive lead magnets right now. Now, I'm not saying you can't do an ebook. I'm not saying you can't do a checklist. But what I'm saying is for right now, I think these are the most, these are the lead magnets that are really attracting people who are serious, because you want to remember, you want to get people on your list who, even if they may not buy right now, they're going to buy at some point in time. So here are a few resources to create some of these lead magnets. So if you're looking to do the quiz, there's two platforms that I like the most called Interact and Lead Quiz. You can do those for quiz creation. Go to Webinar for webinars, Webinar Jam for webinars, as well as Zoom. You can also use those three platforms to do masterclasses and workshops, such as like what we're doing today. We're using the Zoom platform. So that's the first thing, attract. Normally, if this was mine, I would stop. Don't ask me for my number and not use it. There are so many people, and probably some of you, who you've collected an email address and you've never sent the email, or you have a list and you don't send them emails. People's attention spans are super short right now. Like, everybody's scrolling, everybody's checking emails, everybody's just doing everything. You have to actually use the information that people give you in order to leverage it and then make money and increase your revenue. So here are 3 must-have email campaigns for engagement. This is for individuals who never use email marketing. If you started and you stopped, if you have a list that you've never done anything with, or if you're using it consistently but you're not seeing the results you want to see, either of these series, I like to call them, can help you either keep going or get started. So the first series is called a welcome series. So this is what they're going to get after you give them that free thing, which is that lead magnet we just talked about. So a welcome series is 3 to 5 emails over the course of 7 days. That first email, you want to introduce yourself, your company, your brand. You want to set the expectation with email frequency as well as the type of information you will be sending. You want to direct them to pieces of content that has done really well. So if you have content on YouTube, videos, or podcast episodes that have just blew up, direct them to those pieces of content so they can get a little bit more familiar with you. And then that last email, you want to offer them something. It could be something discounted. It could be a free call, a free discovery call. Obviously, based on what you do, you would have to figure out what does it make sense to offer them. But you always want to offer them something at the end of that series. Week. I promise not to send spam. I'll be sending you information on my workshops, my classes, as well as exclusive discounts, et cetera, et cetera. Anybody who needs a little more concrete example at the end, I'll give you guys my contact information so you can have that. So the next type of series is going to be a nurturing / value added series. So this is a series of emails that you 7 days. You
Hey,
put
Sierra.
yes.
Hi, it's Nina Payne. I just chimed in. It seems like your sound keeps going out on you. Are you
Huh.
using a headphone or something like that that might have a little disconnection?
Nope, I'm not using headphones at all, and I'm plugged in directly into the modem.
Interesting. Like every couple of minutes or so, it kind of pops out, and then so they're getting like chunks of your session um, that they can't hear you on. So, how's your internet connection?
It's great. I'm checking it out, but it's not showing me anything unusual. How can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, when we can hear you, it's fine. It's just you like will snap out and snap back in, almost like a power surge or something. But I just wanted to let you know that was going on. I don't know how to correct it from this side. Just wanted to let you know.
Well,
And so
let me try. The only thing I
probably,
can try right now. Give me 2 seconds. The only other.
yeah, it just clipped out again. Can you hear me? Sierra.
All right.
Yeah, we missed that whole section. Whatever you said, you were gone.
With
I'm wondering if Melissa is suggesting that you turn your video back on.
the video never went on. He didn't. It said host didn't activate it.
Oh, okay. We'll make sure that that happens. Okay. But continue.
All right, so I'll start back at the top for the nurturing series. So the nurturing value add series is a series over 3 to 5 days. Once again, you want to put this into place right after your welcome series. So with the nurturing series, you're giving them tips, you're giving them tricks, you're giving them strategy, any new information that you learn that you can give to your audience. You want to do that. You can learn things with your audience. You just want to make sure that you're keeping them um, on their toes with whatever it is you're offering. It also helps you build a know, like, and trust factor. It helps you. This is the part where you're like really building that relationship because you're giving them a lot and you're not asking for much. So the content for your nurturing series can be in the form of repurposed social media posts. You can answer questions that you get often. I do this a lot with my own email list. If I get the same question over and over, I start creating emails answering this question in depth. It could be testimonials from past clients. It could be any new information you find out that can help your audience get to where they want to go. You don't always need a call to action, but it doesn't hurt. It's depending on what you do. Like I said, a lot of things are custom based on your industry, based on your service, based on your product, etc. But this series is very, very important. You don't want to go into an email marketing relationship instantly asking people to buy things right away, unless you are an e-commerce brand. The rules are a little bit different for e-commerce brands, but if you provide a service, if you have courses, books, things like that, you have to do things a little bit different in this space. Okay. So the third series is a ReEngagement series, and it's one of the most popular series that I've done for my clients. Sometimes I like to think I made it up, but I don't think so. This particular series helped one of my clients make $27,000 in 24 hours. So this is for those of you who you have a list, you haven't been consistent with the list, or you may not have ever sent an email to the list, or it's just been a while. It's 3 emails, 3 days in a row to anybody who's non-responsive or who doesn't open your emails. you don't want to put this into place right after the welcome series. That's actually an error. What you want to do with this series is you want to take some time to figure out how can you get these people either re-engaged or you want to kick them off completely. With this re-engagement series is 3 emails. The first email is you're saying, sorry, it's been a while. I haven't, reached out to you, but let me keep you updated on what's going on with the brand. Sometimes companies or brands or they restructure and things change. So what they initially signed up for, you may not even have anymore. So you want to give them an update on the brand. You also want to give them an opportunity to remove themselves if they don't want to be involved with you or your brand anymore. They may have changed their mind or they may not need the service or the product anymore. And then on that third day, you want to give them an exclusive offer that they can't turn down. There's 2 things that are going to happen. You're going to have people that unsubscribe. You're going to have people who don't open, and then you're going to have people who are going to take advantage of whatever that offer is. Like I said, one client literally made $27,000 in 24 hours. The other client, he has an e-commerce brand that we did this with, and we had so many people go to the website that it literally shut it down. So this works very, very well for those of you who have large lists that you just haven't been engaging with on a consistent basis. So these are some resources for some of you who may be on here who you're not using email marketing at all. And you're probably like, okay, I want to send these emails out, but I don't even have an autoresponder, or I'm not signed up with, any of the companies. So ConvertKit is one that I highly suggest. Active Campaign is a close to, I'm not going to lie. I like Active Campaign better than ConvertKit right now. And then there's another called MailerLite. A lot of people ask me about MailChimp. MailChimp is cool if you have it, but if you're a growth-oriented individual, you're going to outgrow it. So you might as well start, somewhere that you can stay for a longer period of time. So this is just some information for those of you who you don't have any type of autoresponder in place. So here's the fun part, leverage, right? AKA, how do I make money from this? How do I increase my revenue? How do I monetize? I like to say, how do I start collecting mailbox money? Because you can get to a point where you're literally sending out emails, and next thing you know, you're getting PayPal and Stripe notifications dinging on your phone. So how do you monetize your list? It's really not that difficult. A lot of people think that this is the deep part of the presentation, and it's actually the most simple part. The number one thing you have to do, though, is you have to have a good offer, or you have to have a service or product that somebody actually wants. So you do that by creating something that people need. Once again, it's industry specific based. Depending on what you do, it may be a little bit different. But if you are a coach, or if you are a consultant, if you do have a e-commerce brand, or even just a regular brick and mortar small business, you have to create an offer that someone actually wants. The third thing you want to do is you want to give your email list everything first. You want to give them the announcements first. You want to give them the discounts first, exclusive. When people feel like they're a part of something, they're more than likely to keep supporting, sharing, and buying things from you. This is, once again, this is building that relationship. They have to feel like they're getting it first to truly act on it first. And there's a million examples I can give you guys, but we're getting close to Q&A, so I want to keep it short on that part. The next thing you want to do is plan and create campaigns around a specific product or service that leads them to buy it. So a quick example is recently, Juneteenth, a lot of e-commerce brands and a lot of coaches and consultants even took advantage of offering something on Juneteenth. If you have a core product or a core service that never changes, you could create different campaigns throughout the year that leads back to people buying that specific product or service. I do this all the time, and it works very well, but you have to plan it. That's the key word. That's why I made it bold. You have to plan it out. And the last thing for monetizing your list, you have to be consistent. Like I told you guys earlier, people aren't just buying from, emails that just pop into their inbox. They have to feel like they have a connection with that brand or that person. They have to feel like that person or that brand or that product or service can actually help them. it's not just a one shot, one kill deal. Like, you have to be consistent. At least 30 to 60 days. Not saying it's going to take 30 to 60 days to make money, but you can't send an email once a month and expect to make, money right off of it. You have to give them value. You have to build that relationship by helping them understand that you can help solve their problem. And then you have to prove that you can solve their problem, which is why in the nurturing series, I said, it's okay to send testimonials. People want to see what you can do. So as we come to the end, I want you guys to keep this in mind. It's never too.
Oh, hey there, Cierra. You dropped out. Can you start back over with keeping this in mind? Can you hear me, Cierra?
Go digital. It's not going.
Hey there.
Hello?
Hey, you dropped out there for a minute. Start back from keeping this in mind, if you would.
Gotcha. So keep this in mind. Number one, it's never too late to start or restart with email marketing in your business. I just showed you guys the statistics from the beginning of 2020 in terms of how many people and how many businesses are still using this as a channel for marketing that's still working very, very well. Second thing, we're watching the world go digital. It's not going anywhere. It's only going to become more powerful. This is actually my second year doing Startup Week. Last week, we did it in person. This year, we're doing it digital. So as you can see, email marketing is still going to be a vital asset in any company or business. The third thing I want you to do is create a strategy and stick to it. Don't get caught up in not making money instantly. Get caught up in being committed and being consistent. And the last thing is, you can and you will increase your revenue when you commit. It's not a 7 days on, 7 days off. You have to stay committed and you have to be consistent. And that's all I got for you guys. I don't know what resources. So these are the resources mentioned once again. ConvertKit, Active Campaign, Interactive Lead Quiz to create your lead magnet, Webinar Jam, GoToWebinar, and Zoom. These are all the resources I mentioned earlier. And then if you have any questions, you guys can reach me at Cierra@dropoutmedia.org. I'll put it in the chat box as well. I want to stay on task with time. I apologize for the areas that did get cut out, but if you missed anything and you have a specific question, please don't hesitate to reach out to me so I can get your question answered. And Grant, you can take it away.
Hey, Cierra, thanks so much. That was awesome. We appreciate the technicalities and working through those.
No, that's
my
apologies. I did the best that I could on my
end. Agreed. Like you said, everything's going digital, right? Everything's going online. And so keeping consistent with making those things happen. If you, Cierra, wanted to, on your side, you can click the video on and you could jump on.
Sure.
So we do have a couple questions. We're going to do a couple Q&A. Are you?
It says you can't start your video because the host has stopped it.
Interesting. When you're answering this first question, I'll dive into that for you.
Okay.
It looks like we have from Jenny. Jenny asks, what marketing efforts can I roll out, build an email list pre-launch? So what marketing efforts can I roll out to build an email list pre-launch?
That's a great question, Jenny. I don't want to give you a generic answer. Can you tell me what you do, or at least like what industry you're in?
Good question. So Jenny, in the chat here, I'll post you guys can look in the Q&A section down at the bottom. If you guys click the Q&A, you can see the role of the questions, and that's where we're going to be pulling from in case some of you are looking in the chat. But Jenny, if you wanted to either do in the chat or in the Q&A, and let Cierra know what industry you're in. She wants to answer specifically around the experiences you're having. And while we're waiting on you, Jenny, we'll go to another question. Did you hear an e-commerce site for digital photo printing and framing of cell phone pictures?
Okay, so she's
Digital photo.
digital photo printing, and what marketing effort can I roll out to build an email list pre-launch? So for you,
Love it.
I've seen this a lot in your space. I forgot the name of the one company. You could give someone a discount coupon for their first order. Now, it doesn't mean that they have to make the order right away, but I mean, everybody signs up for coupons. So for you, you can do something as simple as that. They can get 25% off their first order, and you can frame it, like word it as saying, you know, in an effort to show our appreciation before we launch, we want to give you something right away. Here's 25% off your first order. Sign up here to get it. People who are interested in that service are going to sign up for a 25% off coupon. That's one thing. The next thing you could do, let me see, pictures. I think I would do that because you're service based. So it's really, I mean, unless you want to do like an example of a picture frame or something that you've created since you printed out your own pictures. But I think a coupon is the best effort for you to build your list.
A coupon. Got it.
And that's kind of like where in e-commerce, coupons are gold for those of you who have stores. Coupons, they're gold.
All right. And Shannon asks, how often would be an acceptable, consistent time frame? So the emails coming in, I think it's more about consistency, and I'm guessing you have a more in-depth answer here as well.
So my rule of thumb is minimum twice a week. Minimum. That's my rule. Now, I have some clients who like to get emails sent out every day. I don't agree with it, but if that's what they want, you know, I make sure it happens. But my rule is twice a week minimum, because the key is making sure that those individuals remember you and keep you at the top of their mind. We all know a lot of people who do a lot of things, but the people we normally hire or the people we normally refer out are the ones we can think of right there on the spot. And that twice a week minimum is helping people remember you and what you do, as well as giving them value.
Love it. The consistency of value, you know, maybe the industry is a minute by minute, like stock trading.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it's 2-year, 3-year contracts.
Absolutely.
I like the add value because then it maps over to whatever the time frame. That's great. Let's see. We had another couple come in. Sam wants to know. I guess I'll take this one real quick. There's 2 people who have been asking about this recording afterwards. They'll be on the Hey Summit website. So all the sessions that the participants have signed up for and logged into, you'll be able to get this recording back on that Hey Summit website for each session. So anytime you go back in, you can click and watch the recording. So that's where you can find these afterwards. Let's see. Deborah asks, how far ahead of having a hard product can you start priming the market? So I like the idea of Jenny asking about a pre-launch strategy. Deborah's asking, when can I even get started?
So you can get started. So let me ask this question. What is a hard product? Help me understand that.
Deborah, can you tell us your product? She didn't list Sierra, sorry.
That's okay. Just so I can make sure I give her a good answer.
So priming the market is how she's phrasing how far ahead of actually having a product.
I would say priming the market, you can, depending on what it is, normally, like with me and my clients, we create like a 30 to 60 day time frame. If you're saying a hard product, like something that you have to actually mail out versus something digital, I think 30 days is good. Digital is a little bit different. You can do 30 or 60 days, because priming the market, if you know you're going to launch something, you should be priming the market like with your content. So if you're going live, if you're posting on social media often, like that's like that's priming the market. Depending especially if you're talking about the same thing, which you should be if you're in quote unquote launch mode, and then doing the same thing with email. So 30 to 60 days is a good time frame. If it's something huge, maybe 90, but I wouldn't go past 90. I think 30 to 60 is really a really good time frame, because you don't want people to wait too long to where they just don't care anymore.
and then Cierra, in that email, are you saying, hey, in 30 days, in 90 days, expect these things?
I don't think
too specific?
I don't think I would. I would just give them so much that they would know something was coming. And a good way to actually launch whatever that hard product is, if it's digital, if it's a class, if it's a course or something like that, a good way to launch it is by doing a webinar or a masterclass. Because at the end of that, you can say, this is what.
Oh, you dropped out there, Cierra. Can you hear me? Cierra? Oh, I do see Deborah specifically answered in the chat, cooking school classes and merch. So Deborah's in the cooking school classes. So she probably has a website with classes listed. People go and sign up for those cooking classes and are able to purchase merch around those classes.
Yeah, so for cooking classes, I think 30 days is good. And you can create, it's so much you can do in that space. I'm actually getting a lot of fitness and health people now with everybody being at home. You could do live demonstrations online. You can do, private classes, and then whatever you roll out, whatever the big product is, those people are probably going to sign up first.
All right, we have time for one more question. Before we get to that last one, answer real quick. This is from Joseph. When wouldn't you want to send an email to customers?
Oh, wow.
That's kind of fun.
That's a great question. I think it depends on your industry and what you're sending. So I don't ever think there's a bad time to send an email. I think it's the content that matters. For example, people send emails on Christmas, but it's normally a discount code or, buy one, get one free or something like that. So I don't think there's a such thing as a bad time. I think it's more so the context and the content of the email. I don't think there's a such thing as a bad time though. It's more so what is the content of it.
All right. So what I'm going to do to wrap up our session, be respectful of everyone's time. I've documented all of the additional questions we have remaining.
Okay.
And we can answer them online somehow. Will you pull back up, Cierra, your screen and the best place for people to connect with you? And we can maybe go there. Do you have a Twitter?
I do. You know what? I don't tweet anymore.
Okay. Or a Facebook?
So weird. I don't. So everything, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram is all my first and last name, which is I'll put it in the chat again, which is @Cierra Seay. If you want to email me a question, it's Cierra@dropoutmedia.org. Let me go back to the chat.
What I'll do is I'll send these questions over to you, Cierra, and you can connect with people over on the Hello Summit.
Okay.
And then she can answer your questions there. Yeah.
And sorry again, guys, for me cutting out. I was in the groove too.
This was a great session. Hope everyone enjoyed it.
After you do so many of these, when you're like,
that's right,
in the groove, and when you're bombing, I was in the groove today.
You were. I felt it. Thanks so much, Cierra. We appreciate your session this morning. Thanks for everyone for joining.
Seriously, do not hesitate to reach out. I live with my phone in my hand, so do not hesitate.
Reach out to Cierra, and we'll have our next session here on the 8 Mile track. I believe it's at 2 p.m.
Awesome. Thanks, Grant.
Awesome. Take care.
Bye-bye.
See you, everyone.